Welcome to Discover Indie Film. I'm Jeff Howard, and I have Drew Lewis Guerra with me. Hey, Drew.
How's it going, Jeff?
I'm good, and it's good to have you here. We are in person, which is always nice to record a podcast face to face.
Yes.
And everyone listening, listen to the podcast before this one. That was Drew's interview. We talked all about Drew and his career, his company Black Canvas, which you can look up. It's a clickable link in the show notes, blackcanvas.com. Also his film The Last Light, which was at Film Invasion Los Angeles in June of 2025. Wait, I'm supposed to say we had the world premiere. World premiere of The Last Light was at Film Invasion in Los Angeles. And amazing film. I won't bother with my. But I do have an. This is the most selfish thing I've ever done.
Please.
It actually occurred to me watching it again this morning. I'm like, if you ever want to do what was the DVD extra commentary track, I'll sit down with you and like praise every freaking frame. You know what I mean?
I used to love the director's commentary.
Wasn't that great?
Yeah, I loved it.
I know, that's what
I wish they should bring that back, right? Into like
Netflix
and Amazon, like you should be able to turn it on as an option.
You know, I confess that I don't have. I'm not a subscriber to Criterion Channel.
Yeah, me
but
neither.
like Criterion was like that was the way to get those commentaries.
Right. Well, I might have to take you up on that. I think that would be a lot of fun.
It would be fun. Like so anyway, needless to say, The Last Light is a Drew's film. He wrote and directed it. I could praise, like, I go, wait, let's pause. Okay, so that is so cool because. So anyway,
that's awesome. Thank you so much again.
Talk about the craziest offer of all time. But that is what occurred to me this morning.
It's not that crazy. I've done director's commentary before for a feature that I edited. I say done. I've facilitated that for a director on a film that he's done. But I literally used to nerd out about director's commentary, so it's not as crazy as you think. It would be a lot of fun.
Right? And the reason I thought of doing it also is way back when in the mid-'80s, I had a friend with a Laserdisc player.
Oh, yeah.
Which not everyone knows.
I remember
that is.
Laserdisc.
But,
I saw Fern Gully on Laserdisc.
And he got the Graduate Criterion edition. I think we rented it from Tower Video or something and threw it in. And then, of course, they didn't have Mike Nichols doing the commentary, but they had some film school professor going through every scene, just playing every scene of The Graduate, commenting on what made it special. And that honestly, like, probably changed my life.
So I couldn't agree more.
Like
again, before film school,
film analyzed that way and appreciated.
Yeah, and hear from the people that made it. I used to love that stuff. I still have probably 1,000 DVDs and Blu-rays, and occasionally I'll watch a film with commentary on it.
You have the soul of an archivist.
Yes, very much so.
I have. Well, this gig has forced me to let go of archives. I actually do.
You put it out into the cloud, into the internet, and then it's there forever, thoe.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And
you're archiving.
Oh no,
you're archiving conversations.
I am a digital hoarder.
Yeah, that's okay.
But in real life, not so much.
I think that's a good balance.
I'm aiming for a balance.
Yeah.
I'm a Libra. So anyway, this is episode number 601, and this is a 4 questions episode. So please listen to the podcast before this one, and you'll learn all about Drew and his work and his films and upbringing, everything. And by the way, I won't be able to name it, but you're not the first Full Sail graduate to be on this podcast.
Yeah, I believe that. There's a lot of us out there.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
So shout out to your film school.
Yep. Shout out Full Sail.
But as I said, this is a 4 questions episode, which means Drew will be answering. Hey, what do you know? 4 questions.
Great.
Question number 1 is name 3 films that you love. Number 2 is name a film that's underrated. Number 3 is a film that's overrated. Number 4 is a lesser-known film that people should seek out. Obviously, just a fun excuse to talk movies. So
I love it. So number 1, I think the way that you had posed the question in the email was a little bit more pointed, where that you had asked 3 favorite films, which I shut down when I hear the word favorite.
Well, it's too much. There's too many.
It's like, what genre are we talking about? What decade are we talking about? What director are we talking about? What did I eat for breakfast?
It's funny because I had to change it from because people were interpreting it as the best 3 ever made. I'm like, no, just 3 that every time it's on, you want to watch it to the end.
Here's what I will say. Maybe I can like kind of spin the question a little bit to like the 3 films that I remember seeing first as a child, because these were highly influential for me, were The Wizard of Oz, first film I ever watched, blew my mind, scared me to death.
How scary it scared me to death as a kid too.
The Witch, the Wicked Witch,
the monkeys,
flying monkeys, the Munchkins, so scary. So scary. The marching soldiers. But I just, I watched that VHS so many times. That was the first movie I ever remember watching. Just complete escapism. When it turns to color and she walks out of the house into Oz, it was just my mind was blown, So that was the first movie. Second movie I remember watching was Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which another completely magical feat in filmmaking. What Robert Zemeckis was able to do with joining 2D animation and live action was just like, as a kid especially, was just like incredible. Incredible, absolutely incredible. I think that movie still holds up today, where you watch it and you're like, wow. Like the lighting of the cartoons matching the environments, it's just mind-blowing.
I could heap praise on that film for a year. There's no limit to how brilliant it is, and I always thought Zemeckis was underrated, actually, because he was a bit of a hit machine, but he was a genius at getting a studio to let him make art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, 100%. And then the third film I remember watching, and this is probably when I was like between the ages of like 4 and 7, was Dick Tracy. Dick Tracy, another just like, it's magical and colorful, and I think that's kind of what ended up influencing my love for like gangster films, because I absolutely adore gangster films and like just like crime dramas ultimately. You wouldn't know it maybe by some of the shorts that I've made, but the very first short I ever made was a crime drama. So yeah,
and you're
those
drawn
three
to
films.
a crime script.
Yes, exactly.
For your first potential feature.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those were like the biggest influences, and like the three favorite movies. I don't know, but like.
Well, you want to give me like a favorite from college era and a favorite from the last couple years.
I mean, like some that I love going back to are like Fight Club, The Departed, 2001: A Space Odyssey. I think is just so ahead of its time. Yeah, so there's 3.
There you go, perfect.
Yeah,
and it is true. By the way, when I was. They tried to back me into a corner and make me be the guest on episode 500. Actually, I was supposed to be the guest on episode 100. It didn't happen. And then we did 500. And I wanted to say, okay, so if I was really going to, I realize this is an annoying question, like name 3 favorites. But I'm like, because I would like to name like my 3 favorites from high school, then my 3 favorites from like college, and then my 3 favorites in my 20s, and then now. You know what I mean? Like it's always changing.
It's always changing depending on what day it is. And again,
although like, those early films.
Yeah, they still are favorite.
Right?
Yeah, they still stick with us for sure.
Like it's the rare person that their favorite band is in a band that they discovered in junior high.
It's true. Yep, it's true. Radiohead, still one of my favorite bands.
There you go.
Yep.
Oh, art band.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 2 is a film you feel is underrated.
Oh yeah, thought about this on the way over here. Waterworld. It gets so much hate. Another movie that kind of came out during my childhood. Kevin Costner, basically Mad Max on water. But I thought it was so brilliant. And I've watched it recently. I'm like, I don't care what anybody says. This movie is still incredible. And, it went over budget. And I think because it wasn't a commercial success, that maybe some of that bled into people's hating it. But yeah, you don't hear a lot of people talking about how good Waterworld is, it's usually the opposite. And I'm always just like, I loved that movie. I still love that movie.
I mean, I think the world was also we're a petty species.
Yeah.
And Costner was so hot for so long, and then he got so much bad press around Waterworld.
But it was so good.
You know what I mean? But I feel like the world was ready to turn on him.
Yeah.
Like
you look at some of those stunts even today that they're doing like in the middle of the ocean. They're like blowing up jet skis and stuff. I'm like, this is incredible. And I loved the world building, like just the idea that, okay, land is now, there's no more land, and in the future, everything's covered with water, and to have dirt is to have gold, essentially. Like, it was just like, just really put my imagination, set my imagination off as a kid. Like, I remember having a little Kevin Costner Waterworld action figure, and so yeah, I would say Waterworld's
excellent. I confess, I haven't seen it since it was in theaters when it was released.
Yeah.
And I do remember all the bad press. And I remember them even saying that he didn't realize he had a bald spot. And so they went through frame by frame, because that was back before
Colored
computer.
it in.
And they filled in his bald spot frame by frame. Because he was the director and that was what he wanted.
Right.
See, that's the kind of shit they were doing to him.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, he got an Oscar for Dance with Wolves anyway. All right, so excellent. I'm glad. That's a new episode number 601. First person mentioned Waterworld.
Yeah. It's a deep cut.
It's a deep cut. It is a deep cut, isn't it, man? Yeah. All right. Well, what's your overrated film?
Overrated film. Ooh, this is a controversial question. No matter what, it's gonna be people are gonna be upset with this, but I'm gonna say Good Will Hunting. It's, again, a great movie. I think it's fantastic, but do I think that it's like the life-changing, Oscar-winning masterpiece that everyone assumes that it is? No.
That is the exact interpretation of the question that I'm always looking for, which is, it's not a bad film.
No,
it's just,
it's a great film.
And by the way, why'd they win Best Screenplay?
Yeah. I mean,
and I have a theory on it that I'll just share, even though I'm a shitty person for saying it, which is, so Hollywood really hates those pesky writers, because those screenwriters, they just annoy Hollywood, right? So, two young actors who don't really know how to write.
Yeah.
Let's give them the Oscar. I swear to God, it was, my understanding is they stole it from some play anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And
if you were to make that movie today, if you make Good Will Hunting today, it's like a festival darling indie film made for less than $5 million. That, you know what I mean? Like, it's not this big culturally relevant thing that it kind of became. Again, great movie.
It's good. It's great. It's
I love
enjoyable.
Robin Williams, obviously. Matt Damon's character is a little bit. You have to really suspend your disbelief to believe that he's a genius that's just doing janitorial work. But again,
that's a bit. Yeah.
It's kind of a stretch. It's kind of a stretch. But people love that movie. And I will probably. Some people will be very upset with me saying this.
Well, people look. My last guest named one of my top three.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I loved it. I'm like,
yeah.
oh yes, so good.
It's the beauty of art, right? It's all subjective.
Yeah, we don't all have to agree.
Just really curious. What did he name? That's in your top three.
There Will Be Blood.
Oh my! How dare he?
Well,
how dare he?
It was.
Yeah, he put up.
Sorry, Amy.
Oh, sorry,
it's Amy.
Oh, how dare she?
But I love it. I love that for her. That's
for
overrated.
sure. For sure. Yeah, no, it's completely subjective. But There Will Be Blood is one of the best movies ever made. Okay, next question.
I agree. Well, then I'll share with you that's why my overrated is No Country for Old Men, because even though I'm a huge Coen Brothers guy, that film beat There Will Be Blood for Best Picture.
Yeah, see, that's where we differ.
That's unacceptable. So for you,
yeah. I think
No Country deserved to get the Oscar that There Will Be Blood deserved.
I mean, they're both incredible, perfect movies. But maybe it could just be because that's our main comp for this feature that I'm working on.
I got if I were to rank all the Coen films,
You have others.
I don't think No Country's in my top 5.
Wow. Okay. Well, this is a separate podcast.
Yeah.
No, it could just be because No Country is like the number one comp for this feature that I'm working on that I told you about. So
Gotcha.
from a
So you've
tonal,
been paying attention to it.
I've been watching it a lot, and that's kind of what we're shooting for.
Yeah. No, and again, when I say it's not on my top 5 of Coen Brothers films, that's not an insult.
No,
that's saying that they've made so many great. Honestly, even their films, I wasn't crazy about Hail Caesar or whatever. I still enjoyed the shit out of it. I loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah.
On their worst day, they make a film that I want to watch a couple times.
For sure.
Whereas, other filmmakers on their best day, I'm like, you're not. I'm very happy that you have an audience because you don't need me. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, we already did 3. All right. Question number 4 is a lesser known film that people should seek out.
So I'm going to say Dragged Across Concrete, which is a S. Craig Zahler film, who's like a little known writer-director that's kind of like, he's huge, like he's like got a huge cult following, but not so much commercial as of today. I mean, he does have a new film that just came out this year that might help bring him into being more of a household name, but his movie Dragged Across Concrete stars Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn as like these disenfranchised cops that end up taking the law into their own hands when they witness like a bank heist gone wrong. And all of those elements to me are like so fun, like bank heist, Mel Gibson, Vince Vaughn. I'm like, I'm in. So that's a really fun movie. And then also his his directorial debut was amazing. It was this film called Bone Tomahawk, which is a Western film.
Oh, the Bone Tomahawk guy.
Yes. So
I saw Bone Tomahawk.
You saw Bone Tomahawk. So that movie is like a very gritty Western, like you could just never imagine where it goes. So he did that one. He did a movie called Brawl in Cell Block 99 with Vince Vaughn. But yeah, I would say Dragged Across Concrete is one that I would suggest that most people have never heard of.
It's interesting. I haven't thought of Bone Tomahawk for a couple years. This is a household that watches a lot of horror films. Mm-hmm. And just now when you mentioned it, it kind of popped in my head, like, because I'm a huge Midsommar fan.
Yeah.
And I'm like, actually, I kind of see a similarity in vibe.
Yeah, for sure.
That I hadn't thought about. I hadn't thought of Bone Tomahawk as a horror film.
It's
before,
very much a Western horror film.
Yeah, it is a Western horror.
For sure.
You get so focused on the Western part.
Yeah. If it doesn't start as a Western or as a horror film, it definitely ends as a horror film.
Definitely, there's some horrific.
So I would say check out S. Craig Zahler, who's the writer director of all those films we just talked about. He's awesome, and I like to just suggest him to people that love movies because he's just a great filmmaker that doesn't get enough credit.
Well, and here during your podcast interview, the one before this one, I talked about titles and the importance. Dragged Across Concrete. Holy crap, that's a title.
How awesome is that?
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm already reaching for the Bactine in my head.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh,
maybe one more.
So it's such a visual. Words can be visual.
Yes. It paints a picture, doesn't it?
Oh my God.
One more film that I might suggest just while we're here on this topic and would be Living in Oblivion.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Most people have heard of this, but if you're a filmmaker that's never heard of this movie, go watch it. It's a movie about making a movie made in the 90s starring Steve Buscemi as the director. And it just encapsulates perfectly the frustration and the journey of getting a film made.
Yeah, isn't the director Alexander Rockwell?
That sounds right.
I think so.
Yeah.
Who I always have. Every once in a while someone mentions Living in Oblivion. Of course, that's my generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that the lead actors, he had made a film with Brad Pitt, like the one before that, and so Living in Oblivion is like his Brad Pitt story.
Yeah.
Dealing with Brad, but apparently I actually am a huge Brad Pitt fan.
Me too.
He's the best.
Yeah,
especially now that he's producing and like he's got such good taste.
Yeah, he's great. But yeah, check out Living in Oblivion, especially if you're a filmmaker and you haven't seen it, because it's like so inside baseball. It's fun.
It is one of the best. I'll never ever forget that moment where like whoever like the key grip like helps load the actor into the back. The guy who's been knocked, he's a semi-conscious actor is being loaded in the back of a taxi, and he goes, "Here's my screenplay."
Yeah, it's so real.
That's so everything.
Real. Yeah, so real.
All right, excellent list.
Thank you.
And I didn't even mention obviously 2001, man. You threw in 2001 at the end there.
Yeah.
When you were doing your favorites.
Yeah. That's definitely one that is. I go back to. I probably watch it at least once every year. But it's just one of those movies that is like makes me think that Kubrick could have been a time traveler, where he studied multiple millennia of life on this planet, and that's how he was able to make something like 2001: A Space Odyssey, because he was just hitting on so many different things, from like the invention of the first tool cutting to humans' invention of a spacecraft, and then just his touching on AI in the 60s, and now we're dealing with AI today more than we ever have. It's just like that film, a lot of people think it's boring. Like, it's not one that you want to like generally like sit down and watch with your girlfriend or someone that's not really into movies, because they're gonna be like, this is slow, I don't understand what's happening. But it's just such an art piece, such a masterpiece of a film.
It is funny, because I don't know. I mean, I saw it in high school in the 80s and thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like from the first, and like, I don't know, maybe I think everything probably holds up except the first segment, right? Maybe the first, because the makeup for the
monkeys or the apes,
the proto-humans were probably, it probably might look cheesy to a modern audience.
Sure, but you have to always look at it through the context of when the film came out.
But as soon as, like the world's greatest match cut, it'll never be equaled.
Yeah.
The flying bone to the satellite.
Cinema history.
Yeah, the greatest.
Yeah, and it's probably...
But from that moment, it's not dated
it holds
at all.
up. Yeah. From the sci-fi elements, the spacecraft, the model work, all of it. And it's probably more influential on modern sci-fi than any other film.
Yeah. And I always have to give the shout out to Arthur C. Clarke too, because one brilliant thing about Kubrick was he's like, well, I want to make a great sci-fi film, so I'll grab one of the greatest living sci-fi authors. And
right.
My understanding is that they just hung out a lot and talked, and because the 2001 book that Arthur C. Clarke wrote came after the film, I believe. I think they worked on the screenplay together, and he goes, well, I'm going to do a novelization of this, which I haven't read. It's been one of my favorite movies for 40-something years, and I haven't read the book.
Add it to the list.
Seriously.
Yeah, that's great.
And it didn't occur to me right now. See, that's the beauty of the podcast.
There you go.
Makes you realize shit you should have realized 40 years ago.
There you go.
All right. Well, I will get us out of here. Thank you, Drew.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks again for having me.
Yep. And thank you to everyone who's listening. If you want to learn more about, well, first of all, go to Drew's website, blackcanvas.com. It's a clickable link in the show notes. Also, everything I'm about to ramble off is also a clickable link. Thank you for listening to the Discover Indie Film Podcast. You can learn more about it at discoverindiefilm.com. On social media, it's always at DIFwins. If you go to discoverindiefilm.org, that is the nonprofit that runs 2 film festivals in the LA area that are both in the top 100 best reviewed festivals worldwide out of 14,000. Those are Sherman Oaks Film Festival that we hold every December. You can learn more at ShermanOaksFF.com and at ShermanOaksFF on social media. Every June, we hold Film Invasion Los Angeles. You can learn more at filminvasionla.com, and it's at filminvasionla on social media. And yeah, I'll mention that we had the world premiere of Drew's film, The Last Light, at Film Invasion LA 22, the 10th edition.
Absolutely.
Of Film Invasion LA. Hard to believe, 10 years of my life. It's crazy. And I call those two, maybe I didn't, but those two I call sister festivals. They're getting a cousin in South America next year, January 2026. Everyone should go to Lima, Peru for Film Invasion Lima.
Sounds amazing. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you. All right. Well, thank you, Drew.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you guys for listening.
Yeah. I'll leave it at that. Thank you for listening. I had to add it. Okay. Bye.